Hello, 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 guys. Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy start of the week. How are you doing today?
Hi,
I'm
teacher.
doing great, thank you.
How are you?
What about you?
Okay, very good. Thanks for asking. I'm doing well. Just starting the energy with the best attitude, with best energy, hoping that everything goes well. So today, guys, we are starting the last week of our cycle. We have a very important week coming coming up. Remember that today it's our 12th class, and today is July the 24th. So guys, I'm going to share the agenda for today. We're going to start with two games. Um, to review parts of the speech. Then we're going to start with the project presentations. So we're going to start with this game so that we give the other students chance to arrive, to get to the session so that we can start with the projects. Okay. So we're going to start with those two games. Then we're going to have project presentations. And if we have enough time, we are going to do a Moodle practice, okay? So that's basically what's going to happen today. Remember that tomorrow and Thursday we're having exams, okay? So tomorrow is part A, and on Wednesday Wednesday we're having part B, and that's it. And that'll be all for the cycle. So the first link, let me copy it. All right. So, you are going to write your names here, right? So, for example, I'm gonna steal Diana Losada's name, and then you click on start. Of course, all of you write your own name, of course. And then you start answering the questions. This is not like everyone like at the same time. No, everyone goes at your own pace, and then you are going to answer the questions individually. Okay, so you are going at your own pace. So it's not all of us playing at the same time, playing together. No, you're going to click on here, for example, Diana, right? And then um you are the first to join, and then you click on a start game. Okay, you don't have to wait for the rest. You click on a start game, and then you start answering the questions. Okay, so rules are: A, actions or state of being, or B, descriptions about nouns or nouns. So I mean, you are going to answer those questions. Okay, and then you move on until you finish the game.
Okay.
Let me hold on, what did I do? Hold on. Oh, hold on, give me 1 second. Alrighty, good. So this is going to be
Teacher,
for,
can you please send the link
yep,
again? You
yep.
didn't send it
Yeah,
yet.
I haven't sent that.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Okay,
thank you,
good.
teacher.
And then this is the second one, which is gonna be similar, kind of. So this is the other one. So there you are, guys. You are going to open the links. You're going to start with activities. And then in a couple of minutes, I will start with the roll call. So is it clear, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
it is.
All righty, very good. So please start. All right, guys, I'm going to start with the roll call. All right. Acevedo Cueva Saray.
Present, teacher.
Great. Albarracín Caballero Cristian.
I'm here, teacher.
Alrighty. Ayala Viloria Joeli. Okay, Joeli. Vaca Yaina Andrea. Alrighty. Carrero, yes. Carrero Bonilla John Hammer. John Hammer. Cordero Castellanos Brian. Brian is not here. Fonseca García Freddy.
Here.
Great. Lozada Díaz Diana.
Present, teacher.
Great. Muñoz Salazar Andrea.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay. Pérez Ardila Natalie.
Here, teacher.
Great. Pinzón Linares Mayra.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Rodríguez Llorente Harold.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. Sandoval Miranda Angélica.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay. Sierra Jaimes Daniela. So she's not coming back. Velasco Uribe Ana María.
Hello, teacher, here.
Alrighty, good. Vera Peña Jennifer.
Here, teacher.
Okay, great. Okay, very good. Finish with the games, guys. Do you finish?
Yes,
Yes, teacher.
Yes, with both of them.
Yes, teacher. Both.
Alrighty. So let's wait 2 more minutes while the rest of the classmates finish, and then we start. Okie dokie, guys. So we're going to start. We're going to start with the project presentation. We are going to make sure that all the participants in the group are here today. So the only group that is not having the presentation is the one that had the project presentation on Friday, that it was Natalie, Daniela, Joely,
Brian, teacher.
and Brian, right? And there was another girl, Mayra Pinzon, right? Yeah, I think it was Mayra. So we're going to make sure that your classmates are here so that we can start, okay? Is there a volunteer, a group that would like to start with the presentation?
Teacher, yes, we are only Andrea and I. We would like to start with the
So
first.
only Andrea who? Andrea Vaca or Andrea?
Andrea Vaca. Yes,
Andrea.
teacher.
Okay, so it's only Andrea Vaca and you?
Yes, teacher, because we were our classmates
Left.
live there. Yes,
Oh, okay.
Judy and
Oh, yeah.
Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Who else?
Yes.
Judy and who else?
Judy and Daniela Lozada. She was in our group,
Oh,
like in the
yeah.
first, in the
Yes,
first.
yes, I remember about her. Yes, I remember that you were the third girls with the same name. You were sharing something.
Yeah.
You were Diana, and then you also share like the same last name. Yeah, it was like a mix of everything there. Alrighty, very good. So, I'm going to give you access to share your screen. Okay, and then remember, guys, the rest of the group that Andrea and Diana are going to ask questions. And then also you can ask questions to the girls about, the topic, okay? So let's start.
Okay, teacher. Mm,
Diana Lozada and Andrea Vaca, right?
Yes, teacher, Andrea Vaca.
Alrighty.
Can you see the screen now?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay. And can you see the presentation?
We can
No?
see something that says vista del presentador, solo tú puedes ver esta pantalla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me stop sharing and I
Yeah, not a
to
problem.
share the
Yeah,
whole
sure.
screen.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, okay. Mm. Now you can see the whole screen?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Andrea, are you ready?
Yes, Diana. I'm
Okay.
ready.
Yes, we can see the presentation.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay, good evening, everyone. Yeah, we really hope you're well.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Um, can you guys, if you can,
Yes,
open your
teacher.
cameras for the presentation?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
No way.
No way. I mean, guys,
Teacher.
I feel like I feel that way.
I
Come
don't,
on,
I
you did not
don't,
stay on Friday to do it.
I don't
Why
I
want
today?
to share.
I know I didn't. Well, that's what I said.
Where,
Just if
where,
you can. Yeah, I didn't tell you on Friday that you had.
let me,
Yeah.
I'm in pijama,
do
teacher.
something.
Let me get dressed.
Yes,
Okay.
please. Give me a second.
Okay. I want to see your beautiful faces, talking about this amazing project. So you always see my face, you always see me, so I want to see you at least once every semester. Every semester, no, every cycle, sorry. Alrighty. Yes.
Teacher, I don't know if I activated.
Yes, I can see you, but I see that you are sharing your screen. I don't know, it's just weird.
The Zoom
You have to
screen.
enter on that
Yeah.
in some place that is like configuration, and then you
Mhm.
activate the camera. There is like a preview.
Yeah,
I don't know if.
you're sharing the preview, so I can see your face right now. Let's try. Let's.
O solamente dale la X. A
Yeah,
ver si se apaga.
Okay. Here?
no,
Pero se apagó.
pero se apagó.
Ah, no,
So,
ya.
I think
no,
that
yes, now, yes. Now
now
it's
we can.
mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if Andrea can share the camera too, but okay. Well, good evening, everyone. We hope you're well. Okay, today Andrea and I, Diana Lozada, are going to present our final project. Okay, we choose the topic global impact generated by mobile applications and social networks on establishment interpersonal relationships. Okay. Okay, we are going to start talking about why we think this topic is controversial. Okay, it is controversial due to the misuse that has been given to this type of platform, like social networks and mobile applications. In some cases, people, including me, think that this technological advance is good because you can talk with different people around the world. And in that way, you can find maybe a new job, improve your education, maybe you can find a lot of opportunities to create a new life in another country. And even in some cases, establish a good and healthy relationship or a good friendship. But as well, many bad people have used this social network to deceive vulnerable people to receive some type of benefit. It could be economic, sexual, or any other. So, these unscrupulous people create fake profiles in which they maybe try to look more attractive and interesting, and they are maybe most of time affect minors, the youngest ones. And maybe this people that don't receive maybe enough supervision from their parents, or even if they receive a good education and enough supervision, they fall into this type of situations innocently. Okay, and however, it's common also to find cyber crimes against people of all ages, not only the youngest ones. We also can find that people of all ages fall in cyber crimes like phishing, like hacking, like identity theft, like cyber extortion. Well, that is the situation in which we are trying to focus in this project. Okay, the current situation. Oh, sorry. The current situation and the impact that we can see today in society regarding to the use of mobile application and social networks is the result of an evolutionary process of technology over the last years. The origin of social networks dates back to the late 70s, but it wasn't until 1997 that the first social media, social networking sites launched. It was called Volt and 6 Degrees that were created as a platform to help people connect with people they didn't know yet. Well, social media has seen exponential growth within the last 15 years and constantly adapting and evolving to cater to its user needs, desires, and preference. While there are a lot of positive things about the use of social media, it also has a series of harmful effects on its users can be dangerous in several ways, mostly, like I mentioned before, for teens, if they are not used properly. There are many, sorry, I don't know if, okay. There are many applications that have been created to meet and interact with new people. However, some of these apps are created with confusing names, maybe. Eh, Maybe that seek goal and notice when parents try to be aware of the application and the use of their children's. Or with that, the creation of many apps becomes a risk because there is a proper control when a person creates a profile in each of these apps. Andrea, if you want, you can continue.
Yes, well, as you know, the technological advancement has allowed most people to have a smartphone or a communication device in which we can find a variety of applications to meet people. A recent study revealed that 59% of the world's population are active users of social networks, which means approximately 4.7 billion people on social networks. So, thinking in that, some people take advantage of this accessibility and create a profile with fake photos, based on lies, and to deceive innocent people who just want to find a person or someone to share. We may think that it's impossible for people not to realize that someone is lying or the profile is false, but due to the great technological advances that have been made, this type of people create different images and strategies that have been that make their like more reality. For example, there are apps that you can use to edit photos and create videos that could look like in real life. So the next slide, please. So, well, when using social networks to meet new people, the risk involved must be taken into account. Not all people in the digital world have the best intentions. So, as is the case of the young Canadian Ashley, who was murdered in the United Kingdom, when she met her virtual friend with whom she had been communicating via FaceTime for nearly 5 years. And on the other hand, in the case of Mariana and Gail, we have those who meet in person after talking every day for almost 2 years show the Tinder application. So they are currently married and plan to have a long life together. There is two phases of dating app in this digitized world. Strategies must be generated to clearly identify situations that represent an imminent danger to avoid a case like the young Canadian. So here there are some tips that how we identify that you are targeting a false profile. The first one is the photos or picture or profile picture. In case of showing perfect images of model or well-known people, photos can be extracted from images banks. And one of the easiest way to find this out is to do a search using Google Images. In the second ones, usually fake profiles have a large number of following, but few followers. The content is so important because many accounts create to impersonate someone's identity, often include photos of that person, but the descriptions are empty. When a profile is like inactivity for like a lot of time or don't post very current photos, it may be a fake account that is only used to impersonate a real person or company. And the last one, in the most of cases, the username are very similar, but not the same. So the username that they are trying to impersonate, but include some special symbol or interpret letter, or even sometimes, in the case of account created by bots, a series of random numbers.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. Okay, before we start with the opinions or questions, we would like to share like a resume or a summary of our opinion. So, well, okay, to sum up, and in my opinion, the addictive nature of mobile applications and social networks can consume like excessive amounts of time and attention. And it is not only dangerous because of the bad people that are using it, but also because this can disrupt like real life relationships, which cause like individuals to neglect personal connections in favor or virtual interaction. Well, I think that maybe is like our responsibility to think the proper use that we have to manage with this type of application. There are a lot of things, a lot of good things that mobile applications and social network can provide to our society, but we have to be aware about the risk and the dangers that are around this. So that's it. Andrea, if you want, you can continue.
Well, yes, in my opinion, I think that this platform have revolutionized the way that we communicate, connecting people from different corners of the world. But I think that it's important to be mindful of potential negative effects to use these apps. And I think that we need to use this platform responsibly and consciously. I think that we need to learn more how about how to don't talk with a false profile and be careful with all the person that you are talking in that kind of apps.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. Okay, guys, we are going to share two links in which we would like to know your opinion about two topics. The first one is voting. You are going to answer yes or no about a question. And in the second one, you are going to share maybe main idea about your opinion. And we are going to choose maybe two or three of the participants to share maybe or to expand your opinion here with us. So I'm going to share the links.
All right. I sent the first link
Okay, thank you,
by
Andrea.
chat.
Okay. Do you need the second one or you're
No,
ready?
I got it. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to present the results only.
So for the first one, is it only one question, right?
Yes, teacher. Only it takes
Only,
only
okay,
like a second to answer.
okay, okay.
And the second one is
It's a like
general
an idea or something. Okay,
Mhm.
alrighty. So the second one is more like a personal opinion of the question. Have you or someone close to you been involved in a similar situation? So it's a particular situation, right? Not necessarily the opinion about the topic, right?
Yes, teacher.
All
Yes, yes,
right.
yes.
All
Mhm.
right. Okay.
Sorry, for the first one, we are going to ask some of you about why do you think yes or no? And in this one, you can expand your opinion. And the second one is about a particular situation. Yes. Mhm. We're going to wait maybe for another answer and we can
Yeah.
share.
Okay, so you have already 6 weeks. Oh, I'm writing something.
Okay, teacher.
Guys, mine is, I mean, I'm trying to write something, but it's too short. You only gave like 200 words or something. No, like 50 words.
No, teacher, but you can expand your.
Can
Uh,
I? I
yes,
can.
we are going to choose like 2 or 3 to share here with all of us.
Okay.
Maybe someone else is writing something because we are only like 7 with the teacher 8. But okay. Okay, well, teacher, for this first question, we would like to know maybe we have the majority here answering yes, approving that this situation represents a risk for the youngest ones, for young people. Maybe there are some of you that answer no. I would like to know maybe who answered the no and why.
Alrighty, guys. So who answered no? Who said that it's not a big risk for youth? Guys, come on. 2 people answered that. Yeah, it was 2 people.
Yes, yes, because there was like
Okay. Okay.
maybe 1 or 2 teacher.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So who answered no and why? Why do you consider that these apps or social media or things in general, I mean, on the internet, it's not or does not represent a big risk for young people?
Or maybe if it was a mistake, maybe the ones that voting for yes can
Mhm.
share also their opinion.
Or if they don't want to participate, then call someone, the person that you want, Diana.
Okay. I don't know.
Well, in my opinion, I think that if someone respond that no, that not represent a risk for youth, I think that maybe if the parents have the responsibility to make sure that your children are using correctly the device that the device I don't they don't have to use this kind of app. Maybe uh, that does don't represent a big risk for they. I think that
Yes, Andrea,
in
I
that case,
agree. Mhm.
yes, in that case, don't represent a big risk.
Okay.
I think that of course represent a risk because I have a little sister. She has 12. I don't know, 12. I think.
She is.
Yes. She's 12. And I think that we can't stay with she all the time. And of course, my mom threw to my little sister, we say the things that are correct and the things that are not correct. But we know that the world has many type of persons of people, and always we take the risk. So I think that it's not this specific topic, but yes, in this specific topic and all of the topics that are with technology things, I think that all people, all these things represents a risk, and of course, uh, mainly for the younger people.
Thank you, Andrea, for sharing. I don't know if someone else wants to share, or if we can start with this second. Well, maybe the one that shared this says yes.
And
Of mine.
was me and was me,
Thank
Diana. Yes. It's a friend that I met her since I was in high school, and as her sister, noticed that someone has created a fake account, so she decided to post it on the stories, and that in that way we could block the account because they because that person even one made that and were using the photos for um, for not a good purpose. So they made they use Photoshop. It was a fake and a profile that could make a or was a risk for her profile as a person as a professional. So it was a risk situation.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer, for sharing. That's awful. It was like identity theft. It
Yes,
is.
that
It is like
that
a
affects her identity.
yes. That's awful. Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing.
I think that one problem is when I send or information or personal information, maybe for a job or for a work, and in some cases, the page or publications are not true.
yes.
So it happened with the tratamiento de datos. So I don't know that this is a very problem, and not only for young people. I think that for all the people.
Yes, Andrea, I'm talking about that. Someone happens to my little sister when she finished their career. She is a flight attendant, and she was like applying just when she finished her practice, and she received like the next day that she applied to the job, the next day she received a call, and for it was like Ecopetrol. And she well she was like too I don't remember how to say emocionada. And they were kills that she have to pay like amount of money
For a
for
course,
an exams and a course, and so that yes, and so that
it happened to my sister-in-law. she is nurse and say that in Ecopetrol we need nurse to the fight in Barranca Bermeja. So she applied and say that but you need to take a course in the in I don't know. I don't remember the name of the course and say like pay an amount of money and we talk to you. And I say, Ecopetrol never say to you that you need to pay for work
Yeah.
with they. So
I
I say that be careful.
I have a friend, and that happened many years ago. He's an engineer, and it was very hard for him to get a job. So he was looking for different options, and then he received an email from a company from Bogota. So they offered him a great job opportunity, and he was very excited because he was like, okay, like at least I'm gonna have a job. I'm gonna have to move to another city, but that's okay. Because he's a I think a mechanical engineer. I think he is. And then they asked him to go to Bogota to get some, medical exams and everything. So when he got there, he was traveling, and I remember that he was like almost crying telling me this because he had no money. He had to ask for money, because he didn't have, the money to travel and to pay for those exams, for those blood tests and everything. And then when he was lining up, he realized that it was not only him, it was also, he had to pay them in advance. So it was like 10 more guys applying for that same job, and then they realized that the company did not exist. I mean, that the place where the company maybe existed, but the place where they had to get the tests done, it didn't exist. So they realized, all the people that were there, they realized that it was not like real. And then they stole their money and everything. So he was very ashamed but sad, but like super 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 upset because of that situation. Imagine you having to ask people for money to go and get a job opportunity, and then finding traveling, guys, traveling to another city to see if he gets the job, and it was not a real job opportunity. So that was very shocking for him and sad. But that happened, and then he learned from that bad experience, and yeah, it's part of his personal.
Yes, and that's an example that not only happens to young
To young
people,
people, yeah. Yeah.
also can happen to all of us.
To all of us,
Um,
yeah.
Maybe um, the person
Yeah,
that
that was
shared
me. That was
ah,
me. So I have a friend that she met this guy. I don't know if it was on Facebook, or if she was using one of those apps. Because she used to, date different guys. I mean, not every day or not every weekend, but from time to time. So she told us about this guy. He was handsome and everything, and then she said that he was a police officer. So they were living in, well, she was in her first pair program. She was living, I'm not sure if that was in New York City or in Indiana. Well, I don't know because she was living in different cities. So in one of those cities where she lived, or she used to live, she met this guy, and she said like, oh, he's a police officer, like he's gonna protect me, like I have nothing to be afraid of. So she went on a date with him, and everything was like just like okay. So on her way back to her house, the guy said, okay, I'm gonna drive you home, but first I need you to go home with me because I need to change my car. And then she was like, she was not sure about doing that, but then she said like, okay, he's a police officer, like I'm okay, like everything's gonna be okay. So she went with that guy to his house, and he was living in a basement. And well, I don't know what happened between them. But then my friend asked him to, she was like, okay, I need to go home. So the guy, I don't know why, what he wanted to do with her, but he didn't want her to leave. So she fell in danger. And then she said, like, okay, if you don't let me leave, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna start screaming. And I don't know if the guy was living with someone else, but he was like super scared of that. And then he said, like, okay, I'm not gonna drive you. You do whatever you want. And then just leave my house. So she was in the middle of the night in a place where she didn't know. And the guy dropped her, and she was like, okay, like call an Uber, call a taxi, do whatever you want. So she felt threatened because she was in danger all the time. First of all, by a police officer. I don't know if he wanted to do like something sexual to her or anything, but she didn't allow that to happen because she said like, okay, if you touch me, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna start screaming. So for her, it was so traumatizing because she thought that she was safe being a police officer, but she was never safe. So you never know who you're going to meet online, and it doesn't matter what your job is, you never know who you're going to deal with. So we got to be careful. And this is not only for young people, it also happens to everyone, and to our parents, our grandparents, our, like, we need to be even for us, even if we think that, okay, like this will never happen to me, I'm so smart, like I know how to identify when someone is trying to steal or to take advantage from me, it can happen to all of us. So we got to be careful with that. And that's the experience that I know.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
for
Alrighty, girls.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you very much for your project. Thank you. It was a very interesting topic. This is something that, as I was saying, can happen to all of us. So we gotta be extra careful with whatever situation
thank you, teacher.
we have to deal with. Alrighty, excellent. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Andrea. Great job. Let's go with the next group, guys. Next group, and then we go on the break, and then after the break we continue with the rest of the presentation. So next group, guys.
Pick the next one, teacher.
You guys.
Pick the next one.
I mean, all of you are going to take the time. We're gonna have the time to have their project, so all of you are going to do it. So I guess.
Maybe we, Christian,
Okay,
Sarai,
Andrea,
Anna.
great. Christian, Sarai, Anna, and Maria,
Yes.
and Andrea.
Just
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me
All right.
a minute. Um, since Drive I can present the slides. I mean, like in the presentation.
What was your question?
Since the Drive I can make the presentation. I mean, start the presentation.
And then, guys, can you please activate your cameras for the presentation.
Going to download this because
No, Christian, you can share. You can say in the right part when say child.
check this out.
Yes. But I think that you need to share all screen because
Yeah,
So I
hold
prefer
on.
download.
aparece como las rayitas de zona
I
abajo
prefer
en
download.
Okay.
las
Yeah,
épocas.
I prefer
Can
download.
can I have the names of the participants?
Cristian, Saray, Ana, and Andrea Muñoz.
Cristian Saray, Ana Velasco,
Yes, and Andrea Muñoz.
and Andrea Muñoz. And then which other group is left? Freddy's group. Freddy, who are you working with? Can you please remind me who's working with Freddy? Harold, who are you working with?
Sure, I'm working with Jimena and Brian, and John.
Jimena, Jennifer Jimena?
Yes, Jennifer, Jimena, and John.
And John. Alrighty. Okay.
Better?
Yeah.
I mean, you can see all the screen and all of that.
Okay.
Teacher, did you mention my name?
Yeah, I was asking
Sorry.
who are you working with? No, it's okay. Who are you working with?
I'm I was starting the presentation. I'm working with Angelica.
So it's only the two of you?
Yes,
Yeah, the
only
two of us.
Freddy and me.
Okay. Alrighty. So we have two more groups, right? And no more. We have well, this group and then Freddy and Angelica and then Harold and Jimena. Yes, no more?
And John.
Yeah, Harold and Jimena. Jennifer. All right. Go ahead, guys. Please start.
Okay, listen. Okay, hello guys. With my classmates, Ana, Sarai, and Christian, we're going to talk about the legalization of marijuana. So next, Christian. Okay, the presentation is a very short introduction, medical use of marijuana, the economic impact that have in the world or around the world, the healthy risk, social impact, and our conclusions. So next, please. So the legalization of marijuana is a controversial issue because in many countries or communities, its use not considered healthy. Basically, it consists of making the process of using marijuana legal in the medical industry and for recreational use. So in Colombia, the possession of a small amount of marijuana for personal use have been decriminalized since 2012. However, the sale and production of marijuana remains illegal, except for medical use. So in Colombia, in 2015, Colombia legalized the use of medical use of marijuana, allowing patients to access to the products that are based on marijuana for centile and medical conditions. In the world, in other parts of the world, the legalization of marijuana has taken a lot of forms or various forms. So in some countries like Uruguay, Canada, marijuana is legal for medical use and for recreational use. But in the USA, is for a state. Some states consider that is correct the use for recreation, and some states think that is not correct. So in general, at federal level, marijuana is illegal in the USA for the recreational use. The principal problem or issue about the marijuana legalization is because include the potential medical benefits, economic impact, economic on crime, and potential risks to the public health. So the status of marijuana legalization is changed on the country to country, and it's a topic that continues to be heavily debated. So next question, please. We are going to talk about medical use. Next. So marijuana have various medical use and benefits for the people, and one that are very recognized by very professionals and researchers are that it has the ability to alleviate chronic pain, and because marijuana contains chemical compounds that is kind of, I don't know how to pronounce this, cannabinoids, and these compounds interact with the body and with the body system and reduce the pain and inflammation. And other use for the medical industry is that it's important to demo to show that marijuana can be effective for mental issues or problems like depression or others. Many countries like Canada, Australia, and the USA legalize the marijuana for only this use. And in these countries, marijuana is available with a doctor's prescriptions. And in the USA, it's only in 36 states. In Canada, it's the country, and it's since 2001. Next question, please. Okay, so one of the principal advantage of the cannabis is that shares a considerable quantity of receptors of the opioid compounds, like morphine, commonly used to release the pain. So the thing that I said before. Next question, please. We can see in the picture that this is a summary that one surveys that are released in the USA. We can see that 43% of people have already used medical marijuana, and 53% say that the use of medical marijuana should be legalized in all the country, because the studies show, the investigations show that is good and important.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the economic impact that have the legalization of marijuana. So the legalizing marijuana has a significant economic impact. The first one is creates new job opportunities in the marijuana industry from growers to retailers. So taxes on marijuana sales can generate substantial revenue for governments. This revenue can be allocated to public programs such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure. The legalization can lead to a reduction in law enforcement costs associated with the drug enforcement. Um, Resources can be redirected to combat more pressing law enforcement needs like addressing violent crime, um, eliminating the black market for marijuana decreases associated with criminal activity and violence. And the criminal justice system can be relieved, reducing arrests and incarcer incarceration for marijuana-related offenses. Chris, I'm not able to see the first sentence. Don't worry. Okay. In the case of states like California and Nevada, where such infrastructure already exists, the economic impact has become more quantifiable as the sector has matured. So RCG Economics and Marijuana Policy wrote a study on Nevada says that legalizing recreational marijuana in the state could support over 41,000 jobs till 2024 and generate over 1.7 billion in labor income. The ITF study estimates at least 81,000 additional direct, indirect, and induced jobs in California as a result of legalized marijuana sales. It also projects an increase in total labor income by at least 3.5 billion, like we can see in this graphic. And to Colombia, Chris can put the next, please. In Colombia, those initiatives will be better because of the localization of the country relative to the equator. So this advantage allow Colombia to have crops of different species of marijuana. So the amount the jobs and income generate will be higher compared to other countries in the North Hemisphere.
Now the health risks associated with the legalization of marijuana. The health risks are associated with the marijuana legalization or use is basically four of them. Sorry, impairment of cognitive function. Marijuana can impair memory, attention, and decision making, potentially leading to problems in school or work and increasing the risk of accident because it works in a similar way from alcohol. So because of that, that is one risk. Lung damage. Smoking marijuana can cause respiratory problems such as chronic bronchitis and lung infection contributing to lung damage because basically all carbureting function from a cigarette or no matter the compound of that cigarette can cause that. Sorry. Addiction, marijuana use can lead to addiction affecting various aspects of life, including work, school, and relationships. That is very common when you start to consume marijuana at early ages. Mental health issues, marijuana use can worsen or trigger mental health problems like depression, anxiety, and psychosis. If you are consuming marijuana with, I don't know, painkillers or something like that for try to handle that kind of problem, they can be worse instead of be better. Several countries have legalized marijuana, implementing regulation to minimize health risks and experience positive economic impacts. One way to know how how to treat with the health risks of cannabis is the mental health. Daily or daily or near daily use of cannabis can contribute to dependence and mental health problem over time, as the same way that alcohol and smoking does. Driving cannabis can improve your motor coordination, judgment, and other skills required for safe driving, like when you drink alcohol. Respiratory effects, toxin and carcinogenic chemicals found in tobacco smoke are also found in cannabis smoke and can affect the lungs and airways. That is because there is no regulation associated with the use of cannabis in many countries. The pregnancy sentences in cannabis are transferred from mother to child and can affect your baby. Not using cannabis is the best way, but the pregnant of breastfeeding is the safest option. Edible cannabis, consuming too much THC can lead to over intoxication, which includes intense anxiety, vomiting, and symptoms of psychosis, like paranoia, what we call the mal verde or la pálida. Cannabis extract with high THC content increase the risk of over intoxication and addiction. But basically, around the world, all the cases that includes or that report like a lethal doses of marijuana are basically from children that by mistake consume cookies or brownies that have marijuana in a doses that are well for an adult person, but not for a child.
Okay, the social impact.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, the impact of society will be significant, both of them positive and negative. From a positive perspective, legalization can reduce crime rates by eliminating the illegal marijuana market and allowing law enforcement to focus on more serious crimes. It can generate tax. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
yes,
Yes.
we can.
Okay. Sorry. It can generate tax revenue for public service and help promote responsible consumption by reducing stigma. Well, the negative concerns, increased access to marijuana may lead to higher rates of addiction, impaired driving, and negative health outcomes. There are concerns that legalization could normalize drug use and potentially increase use among young people. Marijuana use poses social changes, including challenges, sorry, including addiction, memory loss, decreases productivity, and potential mental health issues. It can also contribute to criminal activity and social unrest. Consequently, law markets are actively debating marijuana legalization to strike a balance between minimizing negative effects while preserving individual freedom and society harmony. Well, the social impact of marijuana legalization is multifaceted and requires careful consideration of potential benefits and drawbacks.
Finally, the conclusion of this presentation is that debate surrounding the legalization of marijuana is complex and multifaceted, with arguments for and against its legalization, what we exposed at the beginning. Many of the supporters argue that it can have a positive economic impact by generating revenue and creating jobs, and it can provide medical relief to patients suffering from various conditions related with pain. On the other hand, opponents argue that it could increase drug use and addiction and pose risks of public health and safety. Despite those potential risks associated with marijuana use, its medical benefits and potential economic benefits should be considered. Furthermore, regulation or restriction, as we do right now with cigarettes and alcohol, should be implemented to mitigate the risks and ensure that marijuana use is safe and responsible from all the aspects. Therefore, the legalization of marijuana should be approached cautiously and with proper regulation in place to balance the potential benefits with the potential risks of their use. And thank you.
Alrighty, guys.
Questions?
Okay, questions. Do you have questions for your classmates? Or, I mean, either your classmates or the people that were just presenting the.
Do you have questions for your classmates?
No, really, teacher, it was clear.
Okay, I know it was clear.
Teacher,
What was
but
clear,
I don't
Harold?
know if you're
I have no
asking.
question about this topic because I'm related to this topic in my daily day, but it's okay for that reason. I got it completely. I completely
Alright.
got it.
Okay. Okay.
Teacher, but I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know if you were asking about if the group have question for us or
Yeah,
if
I
us.
said, I said
Also, my
either,
statement was,
yeah.
you have questions for me?
Okay.
Ah, no?
No, I like that they show both things, the maybe the risk and
Yeah.
also the
The
benefits.
positive things. Yeah.
And I like that they mentioned that maybe one of the biggest benefits it's in the economical way for the society in general, talking about the taxes that maybe this industry could provide to improve um, the economy in
In the
the
country.
country.
Mhm. All righty. Okay, very good, Diana. Thank you very much. People, thank you. Group number 3. Yeah, 3. 4. Oh my goodness.
We don't have a number.
We didn't use
No,
numbers. I mean,
number.
at the first, we
I
choose numbers.
yeah, I
We
said
never
that. I
use
said
numbers.
that yes. I said that you don't have a number, but today the first group was Diana and Andrea. Now you guys are the second group. So group number 2.
Okay, in order to explain.
Yes. Alrighty, people, excellent job. Now we are going on our break, and then after our break, we're gonna have a Freddy's group, and then what's your name?
And the final one is our work.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then Harold's presentation. I mean Harold's group. Righty. So what time is it? It's 7:31. So I will see you guys. I'm gonna give you 15 minutes today. So I will see you guys at 7:47.
46. 7?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. So see you shortly.
utilizar era meter este parche, que no sé si podrían hacerlo
Alrighty, guys. So we are going to continue. And now we are going to have Freddy's group presentation. And then the last group will be Harold's group, okay? So Freddy and classmates. Who is it again? Angelica. Freddy and Angelica, are you guys ready?
Yes, teacher, we are ready.
Alrighty. So you guys can start.
So, Angelica, can you share the screen, please?
Yes, give me a second, please. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So, hi guys, today we're going to present our project that is called Environmental Accidents Are Collapsing the Earth Planet. I'm going to start by saying that over the past few decades, the world has witnessed and experienced a big increase in the frequency and severity of environmental disasters. These incidents have caused devastating consequences on human life and property, but not only on that, uh, but also for health and the well-being of our planet. So that's why we consider that this topic was pretty interesting to talk about, and also because we have seen the modifications of our ecosystems and the repercussions that it has had on many species that have been forced to leave their native areas. On the other hand, for us, it is important and urgent to take action in order to mitigate this kind of environmental disasters that are promoting a not friendly management of the resources. For example, many governments and corporations are always promoting strategies that prioritize a short-term economic over a long-term sustainability. So that's why it is resulting in a more persistent and a growing threat for our planet. So now we are going to talk about two great examples of environmental disasters. The first one is the Chernobyl disaster. I chose the disaster because it was pretty famous in the past, and also it occurred on April 26 in 1986. This accident was very famous because it was a nuclear incident that affected thousands of people and citizens that were living where the nuclear plant was built at that time. So it means that when the radiation accident happened, the radioactive materials were spreading through the air, and some of the surrounding areas that were near this place were affected by the contamination. And it is important to clarify that this nuclear event was classified as level 7 by the nuclear event scale, and to this classification that was the highest record for in human history, they were studying the consequences that it had on human DNA and cell damage, and also the great impact that it had on the environment. Because we know that these radioactive materials had changes in the chemistry for soil and water. So many species were affected by that. It is also important to remember that this disaster have severe consequences on the area that was affected in Ukraine. For example, we know that people that were working for this nuclear plant, they didn't know that they were exposing their bodies to radiation. So they have cell damage and bare skin. Also, we know that flora and fauna were highly contaminated. Nowadays, this area still remains uninhabited, And that's why many tourists are always curious about the Chernobyl experience, and they go to this place wearing like a special suit in order to avoid the radiation. But more than 30 years ago, people didn't know that they have to wear like a special suit to contain or to avoid radiation in their bodies. Also, it called my attention that the Ukraine government and the Soviet Union were trying to hide all the evidence about this accident because they didn't manage, and because of that, the spreading of these radioactive materials lasts for several days. That's why some countries that were part of the European countries were concerned about the way they were trying to control this incident. So in the end, the Chernobyl accident had a great coverage by the journalists, and they were informing the whole world about the consequences that people who were living in this area were facing at that time. It was informed that the people, many people lost their life. They were forced to leave their houses. They had to abandon their works and jobs. And this area still remains empty because of that. So we know nowadays that radiation is an unrenewable energy that has a great impact on the environment. The next slide, please. In conclusion, we can say the Chernobyl accident was caused by a serious environmental damage since it modified water and soil conditions, and this incident continues to impact the environment and pose health risks to both humans and wildlife. So we need to remember that this not only affects humans, but also species and the services that ecosystems give us or offer to us. So the next one is for Angelica.
Thank you, Brady. Okay, the next
Yes.
the next example, the disaster that was making for human is the toxin by company DuPont. Is a chemistry company that covered up for decades the severe harm to the health of people around West Virginia for perchloric octanoic acid, like as BFOA, contamination in potable water began in 1951. The contamination was discovered by a cattle farmer. His name is Tennant, who hired a lawyer to sue DuPont because his cows were dying left and right due to company uses the same creep as a water dam where his cows pastured and drank water. After all evidence, all evidence that lawyer checked, he decided to take the case and demand DuPont and requested all documentation related to line fraud and dump. When he read everything, he could see what's going on, and that DuPont had known for a long time that BFOA was bad for health. So he also discovered that the company instructions specified that this substance wasn't to be dumped into surface water, but over the decades that followed, DuPont from more than 1,000 tons uh, for this toxin through all of the river, impacting more than 100,000 people that live in this countryside. Also, he dictated that important and valuable information about medical data with evidence of pathology, cancer, and environmental studies of PFOA concentration surpassing safety limit in the local water supplies for the kids that the company ignored and decided to fund a landfill with this toxic waste. So the water at the creek contained an extraordinary high concentration of PFOA, like analysis of other labs showed in this moment. Like other incidents, the the importance of this left some important lessons for the company and the all in chemical industry in general. First, the contamination of natural, sorry, it's sorry for these videos. If this is some related that the people suffer for this contamination. Well, I say that like others, this incident learned all us that the contamination of the natural resources with toxic chemical could have serious consequences, and industry must be accountable with these actions, their actions, and take measures to minimize risk that can be generated during the development of their corporate activities. Moreover, it's very important transparency and disclosure of information are critical to ensure safety and public confidence in the humanity industry. So this disaster led us a relevance of government regulation and oversight of the industry to ensure the safety and protection of the environment and public health. In fact, we can see that the governments around the world are more concerned about the climate change and the industry perception of lifestyle and have different regulations with the strategies to prevent future disasters and mitigate it. So in conclusion and our opinion, it's important to take steps to reduce and mitigate environmental pollution, because this could be done by general environmental awareness policies, promoting sustainable practices and the industrial level. This will be to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and protect terrestrial and marine ecosystems. As a result, it will help to improve the environmental quality of our surroundings and therefore controlling some vectors that affect human health. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alrighty, guys. Very, very, very interesting. Very interesting to see. Can you please move to the previous slide? You were showing like some videos or pictures.
Yes, that's
If
lecture
you want,
videos.
I can.
Yeah. Go ahead. I was very intrigued by the second one. Yeah. And
Are
then,
you sharing sound, Angelica?
yeah, please make sure, Angelica, that you are sharing your sound so we can all listen to these videos.
Okay, you can listen.
No,
I cannot
you
hear
cannot.
anything.
Okay, yeah.
I was in recovery room and the doctor came by and said, your son has a deformity. Of course, I just cried and cried till I couldn't cry anymore. And they didn't know what to do with him. They hadn't seen anything, anyone or any baby like that before. I had 2 other children, you know. They weren't deformed. They checked back in our family, went way back in genealogy and all that. We never had anyone with a deformity of any kind. The only reason I gave it a second thought was when they removed the women from Teflon. And it came out in the paper. My second was when I went back to work and I saw that piece of paper laying on the bench in the locker room, and it told about 3M and about DuPont and all the rats and what their deformities was. I knew immediately what was going on. I guess betrayed would be about the best word I would know. I like to jump up and shout.
And this is the guy that
This is the song, right?
I just thought it
Right?
was,
Yes.
oh, I got dealt a bad hand. It really just kind of blew my mind and had me in shock for a while. And I got out of that. Grew up as a teenager, have a lovely wife, and my battle changed to, well, I pass this on to my children because I know the battles that I face, and I would never, ever want to put that knowingly on anyone. I would say I am angry. And frustrated. I'm shocked that this great company that is held in such high regard by cities and a nation almost, I mean, around the world maybe, that it's not a priority for them. It's not a priority to get this right and make it right.
Just killed me. I'm lucky to be alive. I'm a walking miracle. And the people that were doing that testing didn't even see retirement. One of them was a close friend of mine. His health was bad. And they had to put him on day shift. He didn't last very long. I was on day shift too that one day. He come running to me and he said, my tongue's bleeding. I looked at him and he was just pouring blood. That's the last time I seen him alive. We called the ambulance. Carol Kaplinger. Cliff Spiker, one of the other ones on the other shift, he had aneurysm blew out in his head. Kind of makes me mad in a way. Frustrated. Down deep, I'm very frustrated. When I wake up in the mornings and I can't go back to sleep and I need to sleep because I don't feel like I've even been in bed. Because I have to get up all the time. The bladder's ruined. I have a prostate disease from the cancer and the radiation, the chemo. I can't smell and I can't taste right now. Very, very faintly. Sometimes I get a little whiff and it won't last. It goes away. So, you know, your nose is your protector. Living by myself, you know, I burned a pan up one day. I didn't even smell the smoke. I don't like going places. I wanted to go and sing karaoke. I wanted to go on trips. I've had accidents. I've blown this thing off on me in the car. You do that a couple times and you're scared to death of being out there. And I was trying to think one time, how much life do you think I've lost, Ken? I had ambitions. I wanted to do other things. I was wanting to, if I left DuPont, I was wanting to maybe run for public office, get involved, maybe teaching math. And those dreams and plans were. Stop to talk about this. There's times I just want to quit and say, but being a Christian and loving the Lord, you don't take your own life. You cope and you get on your knees and pray for wisdom, guidance. I've done pretty daggone well.
Alrighty.
Very
Oh,
happy.
that's yeah. Oh my goodness. That was so sad. Alrighty, guys. Do you have any questions for your classmates? And then your classmates, do you have any questions for
Yes, teacher.
Angelica and how to in Freddy?
Ready? I want to know if you guys do you agree with keep using nuclear energy and why?
If we are in favor of the nuclear energy,
And why, or if you are disagree with this
I mean,
this kind of energy.
we know that the nuclear energy is very efficient because it provides high quantities of energy for the big cities, but we know the side effects that it has on humans, not only humans, but the species in the whole world. And we have seen the accidents or incidents, the one that happened in Chernobyl, the one that happened in Japan when there was the tsunami. So we never know when a natural disaster is going to promote a nuclear accident. So it could happen at any moment. And there have been some studies and research that have evidence that people that have worked and lived near the nuclear plants have has developed cancer through the years. So throughout the years. So it's I don't know. It's pretty difficult to say that we are in favor or not. But I mean, I don't go for that one.
In my case, it's difficult. I agree with Freddy. It's like two sides of a coin because you can use nuclear energy for anything that you can imagine. For example, I don't remember if in last class, sorry, I told about something radionuclear treatment. It's very useful to recognize or make found a date for work, and by this technique you can control a change of the environmental control, contamination also. I know the other techniques in nuclear action that you can use for benefit of the human and the environment, but the problem is that it's not new, totally new, but don't have resources enough to maintain safety for the many warnings that can happen in the future, or to stop or containing something that happened with that.
Yeah, there is no further research.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All righty. Okay, very good. Any other question, guys, that you have for your classmates? Or Freya and Angelica, questions that you have for your classmates?
I mean, for our classmates, questions.
Yeah.
Maybe we would like to hear their opinions about the
Yeah,
two
that'll be awesome.
environmental
Excellent.
disasters
That'll be
that
awesome.
what we talk about.
Yes, you can
I don't
ask
know if you guys
anybody.
have the chance to watch like the TV series that is called Chernobyl, the one that was premiering at HBO, because the TV show explained the consequences and the way that the government managed this nuclear accident. So I don't know if you guys have something to say about it.
In my case, I haven't watched the series. A lot of people have recommended to me this series, but this is my waiting list of TV series that I have to go to watch. Sorry, but I can afford anything in this question. Sorry, Brady.
All righty, very good.
But
Okay.
teacher, but I think that we don't have to think in also in series, because this disaster can happen in near of us, because for example in occasional for armed conflict, when rocket talks, oil oil conductos petroleros, sorry, and the disaster that occasion for that, it's very very dangerous for all people that live around, and the animals and vegetables. Sorry, in this moment I can.
Okay, I understand your point.
I
Yes.
think that one of the problems with the disasters is not like the disaster. For me, is the government and how the government work for the disaster.
Yeah,
Yes,
like how it
for prevent and then to the disaster. Yes, because I'm a geologist and I say that in Colombia we have a lot of geoamenazas. I don't know how to say in English, but we say that we need in all the projects or in all the situations that we know that it's necessary take action and do one thing to be better or to prevent okay because the things that are in the moment is not only material things, it's with life, with animals are and persons. So I think that is very important. And for example, with the armero, yes, it's not yes, it's a natural disaster. No, we can't to do that they don't happen, that it don't happen, but
happen. Yeah.
That it don't happen doesn't happen, but we can the option or the government can the option to evit all the kills that are
To
happening in the moment.
avoid, yeah, to avoid
Yes.
those disasters.
Yes, to prevent or to avoid.
Prevent, avoid.
And for the point of the geology, I think that the problem that nature is nature, yes, and the world we don't know all the world and we don't know how this the how function, yes,
yeah,
but we know the and we have the tools to prevent and to be careful with the life, of course with mainly with the life. The material things it has second important things. And I think that it's a problem for the government and not only in Colombia. For me, it's in all the world. This problem.
Yes, very good, Andrea. I agree. Now that we're talking about natural disasters and stuff, did you hear about this disaster that happened? I think it was over the weekend. It was last week for sure. In like
Yeah.
Bogotá.
In La Villa Villavicencio, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
About that. It was like a disaster. And then
Like there was like a flood.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And then a lot of people have died because of that. And also there are also lots of people that they cannot find yet. And they're still working in order to find people. Of course, now at this time of, at this time, maybe
the probability,
the possibilities to find alive people are, the chances are very odd. So it's super sad what is happening like with the environment, with like everything going on, and that this is only like, this is just the beginning. We need to be self-conscious that everything is changing, that we are facing, well, we started facing these environmental issues a long time ago, but nowadays we're going to see these kind of things they're going to be happening more commonly, so it's just like super scary to think about the future. And when I think about the future, I always feel like scared because of everything, because how the world is, how the nature is, and yeah, it's just horrible. So horrible. Thank you very much, group number 3, for participating, for bringing this amazing topic, scary but amazing presentation.
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much, Freddy. Thank you very much, Angelica, for your hard work. And now we're going to listen to the last group, which is Harold and Jennifer, right?
And John, teacher, John Hammer.
Okay, and excellent, very good.
Okay, hello guys, good evening. So we are going to talk about today the Pablo Escobar people, a big environmental and ethical Colombian problem. And well, I'd like to start asking you guys. So have you heard about this problematical environmental issues there in Colombia? Have you ever heard about it?
I have not. I have heard about these animals, but not about the environmental and ethical problem. I heard, the last thing I heard, it was that some of them escaped and then they had to kill them. That's the last thing I heard. I don't know if I'm wrong.
Yes, teacher. I also heard that the hippos have became an invasive species here in Colombia because of.
But yes, I heard about it. Like last year, I was watching a documentary that it was published by the Semana magazine. And there was a journalist who was talking about this problem because the hippos are reproducing and increasing their population.
Yeah.
And they're very dangerous. They are one of the
Yeah,
main
they are.
causes of human death.
Of death,
So,
yes.
yeah.
Actually, I was playing a game with my students today and it was a product presentation. And 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 then we were playing this game that it's like a like 100 colombianos dijeron, something like that. So it was like 2 teams and then they were asking questions to each of the teams. We had to find out, and then they asked this question like, name the most dangerous animals, or the I don't remember the exact question, that kill most human beings in the world every year. And I was like, oh my god, that was such a great question that I didn't know the answer. And this animal was one of the options, and I was like shocked. I said like, oh my god, I can't believe it. But yeah, they're very dangerous. They are. So yeah, that's right. Alrighty, guys.
Right, thank you so much, guys, for your participation about these questions. So well, we are going to get started right now. And I'd like to introducing that Colombia is well known for being the founder of Medellin drug cartel Pablo Escobar. He was considered as a great criminal of his age due to his criminal record. Between his crimes could be found out crimes like murders, kidnapping, and terrorist attacks around the whole Colombia. So, do you remember about that time, that part of our history that is really sad, but well, despite the fact that he has captured and murdered by Colombia police in 1993, there is a big problem related to his actions. Pablo Escobar's people. Due to his eccentric linking, Pablo Escobar built an exotic zoo around his land called Hacienda that is located 200 kilometers away from Bogota. I would like to know has someone of you or any one of you gone to this place, to Hacienda?
I have not.
You can raise your hand if you have gone there. I would like to know. Well, I think that no one here.
Yeah, no one is
No,
raising their
me
hand.
neither. No, Heather.
Yes.
So maybe no
We
one.
need to start working and gain a lot of money in order to be able to go there.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, in that, he had four people that had arrived at the country in 1980 and have lasted until today and multiply rapidly. Hippos are invasive species in Colombia, which has caused the displacement of native species. Hippos are considered as territorial and their weight can be almost 3 tons. They have spread beyond Indianapolis through the Magdalena River, which is one of the most important rivers in the country. In accordance with environmental institutions, it has been estimated that there are approximately 130 individuals, and they could be 400 in the next 8 years because there is an absence of predators like lions or crocodiles, and for that reason, their reproductive ability is significant and dangerous. Something that I want to mention as well is that David Echeverry says that the institution has got experience because it has already transferred animals to zoo in the country in previous years because they want to move this animal or they are studying the alternative to move this animal to another different country like Mexico, like India, because it's something exotic. And given the proportion of each hippopotamus, the relevant authorities will try to capture young specimens that have not yet reached their maximum adult weight in order to send 30 individuals on each flight. Additionally, other countries have expressed interest in receiving hippos in future projects, including Ecuador, the Philippines, and Botswana, according to the Ethiopia government. So that is the introduction. Continue, Harold, I think.
Okay, and let's continue. Okay, as well as the previous proposal that seek to safeguard the life of the species, other more controversial ones have been raised, such as that one was published in 2021 by the BBC. In this space, a group of Colombian scientists consider that the situation about the hippos is an ecological time bomb. So initially, because when the Napoles farm was dismantled, they sent the other animal to different zoos in the country, except for the hippos, because they thought that this last species was going to die in the place. Instead, this species prospered. Okay, Natalie Castelblanco, who is an biologist, says that as a scientist, she must be honest about the current problem and its future impact. And ICC believe that sacrificing this animal is the best option, even though this way could be the most painful. In order to avoid or stop this problem, she spoke up and said that no one likes to fire on a hippo, but another strategy won't work. Also, other studies have shown that the Colombian species of hippopotamus begin to reproduce at an earlier age compared to its African relatives. Next, okay, thank you. And among other impacts on the territory due to the presence of hippos are the displacement of native species that are already endangered, such as the manatee, and the alteration of the chemical composition of the waterways, and because which could jeopardize finishes in Colombia largest hydrographic basin. because a lot of people use these waterways in order to earn their living. Next one, please. Okay, on the contrary, there are other biologists in favor of the life of hippos, such as Enrique Ordóñez, who makes arguing that these animals are considered as a vulnerable species by NGOs, such as the International Union for Conservation of Nature. This organization proposed to carry out sterilization programs to control the hippos population. However, these types of programs are highly costly and highly complex. And in addition to that, due to the weight of this animal, because this animal can weigh up to 5 tons, there's a lot of weight, and their aggressive behavior, and they really present a risk for people who perform this procedure. And what's more, despite its difficulty, this is the most feasible option to carry out since there is a legislation in the country that prevents the killing of invasion species in the territory. Thus, both the law and public opinion are the obstacle to putting into practice any plan to slaughter them.
Given that not only hippos are daily exposed to danger, but also the community is living in increasing fear about those animals' presence in the area. In fact, hippos usually cross the highway and many vehicles are passing by. That's why we are going to introduce you to recent news about accidental hippos deaths caused by cars collision on the road. That was on April 12th on the highway which connects Bogota with Medellin, and it was near to Estación Pita, Antioquia. That day, a hippo died on the spot after colliding with a car. People that was into the car didn't suffer any severe injury. But a leader of the local community emphasizes that the accident was a fact of how fast the animal is gaining habitable territory. What is more, local fishers advertise the government that it will be only a matter of time before locals kill another specimen using bullets because the risk has increased notably. And according to the Guardian, Luz Amari Lujan, who is a leader of the local of the place where the accident occurred, said that everyone around there was terrified after this unfortunate event, and the locals were at the point where they can't even go out at night anymore. And she replied that they are tired of this problem and nobody is taking action to solve it. Nothing less, Aníbal Gaviria, who is the actual governor of Antioquia State, did say he had been working on a plan for capturing some hippos and send them to India and Mexico, as we report at the beginning of this presentation. Also, he talked with the Colombian president and the environmental minister of our country, insisting their support to make the plan a reality as soon as possible. In conclusion, there are a lot of opinions divided about this controversial topic. However, the opinion in common between animals rights activists and scientists is that each time there is less time to act, and the hippos population is believed to be approximately 1,418 individuals by the year of 2039. For this reason, it's expected to make a balance between both points of view and observe what their consequences are in preservation of the local ecosystem. After all, the struggle should be focused on the preservation of native Colombian species instead of discussing and letting the time pass without taking responsibility for this enormous and overwhelming problem that will really affect our biodiversity, our next generations. And we will to introduce you about hippos diets. Contrary to what one might believe, hippos attack when they feel threatened and not for food. The diet of is herbivores. In addition to this, their habitats are nocturnal since they tend to spend most of the day.
Sorry, are you listening to Jennifer?
I think that
No, I
No.
can't.
I
No,
think she's
there's
having like
something with
internet issues. Yeah,
yeah.
because
if
she
you want.
she texted me and she said that she
Sorry, teacher, I have my internet connect.
yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. Um, what if
What was the last thing that you hear, teacher? Sorry.
no, you were
Here?
you were talking about this. Yeah.
Okay, teacher, thanks.
It was in the part
So,
that you said, in addition to this,
okay, thanks, her. In addition to this, their habits are nocturnal since they tend to spend most of the day resting submerged in the water and look for food at night. And both the copulation and the birth of its animals take place in water.
okay, guys, before finishing, we want to give you some facts about hippo. Okay, the first one that is that the hippos, sorry, don't sweat because
Sweat.
they have a large mammals that secretes a rich only substance that's protect their skin. That's the reason why I don't know if you have said, have you ever heard that hippos or someone said that hippos sweat blood? And
Oh
that's
my.
because,
Never heard
yes,
of that.
yes, teacher, because in their skin they have an advantage of and secretes this weird
Oily thing. Have you
oil,
guys
yes,
ever
but
heard
it's
about
not
this?
sweat. Yes, that's the reason why they have this color, and the
Ah.
people think that
Oh.
is blood. Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yes. The second one is that the hippos can stay underwater for up to 5 minutes without breathing and without drowning. And they can do that because they use their ears and their nostrils close, and they close automatically when they submerge. Yes. And they use that like a barrier between water and themselves. And the third one is that after about 8th month of gestation, female hippos give birth to their young underwater, usually in shallow areas. And the young usually weigh about 45 kilos. It's a lot of weight, but 45 kilos at birth, and the mother can nurse that both in the water and on land.
45 kilograms?
Yes, teacher. When they
Only that?
because no. When they
When they're
were
born.
yes,
Yeah.
45 kilograms.
45 well, I thought that maybe it was like heavier because of course we know that their weight is
Sure, but can you
crazy.
imagine if you have this a lot of hate inside of you and you want to
Inside my belly,
drown
carrying
this?
45 kilograms
Yes,
inside.
that's
Yeah,
gonna be
What?
awful.
Sorry.
yeah.
Yes, that's the reason why I guess that's the leader of the patient born with this hate. Wait, sorry.
Yeah. Good.
So
Angelica, you had a
before,
question? Sorry.
uh,
And John is going to continue with two more facts about
Angelica,
hippos.
Angelica, did you have a question?
Yes, thank you, teacher. My question is about why the cost of hippos is more sorry, more expensive than the elephants.
Sorry, why what?
I'm going to talk
The
about
fangs
Yeah,
on
cost.
the
Why
hippos are
cost?
expensive than elephants.
Yes.
I'm going to talk about it, no worries. So let me continue. So the first fact is that the name of the name hippopotamus means river horse. That's what the Greeks called them in classical times. The Arabs for this car referred to these huge animals as water buffalo, and the Egyptians knew them as a river pig. And uh, fact, the fifth fact, I'm sorry, it says that hippopotamus tusks are more valued than those of elephants, and the main reason is that hippos tusks do not yellow over time. And beware, if you see a hippo jump, it's a sign of threat. So that's the reason why, because the elephant tusks over time get yellow. When I know that you understand the point. And the post doesn't can yellow over time.
Over time.
So that's and well, teacher, to finish our presentation today, we are want to give our personal opinion. And well, in my case, I'm going to say that the ecological impact of the hippo population in Colombia cannot be ignored at all. As an invasive species, they pose a significant threat to the local ecosystem. With no natural predators, as we already mentioned before, their unchecked population growth could disrupt the delicate balance of the Colombian ecosystem. They consume vast amounts of vegetation, causing habitat degradation and potentially leading to decline of native species. The potential damage to ecological integrity of Colombia's natural habitat is a cause for concern that warrants attention. On the other hand, hippos have inadvertently become a part of Colombia's cultural heritage. Born out of Pablo Escobar's private zoo, they have become a symbol of his extravagant lifestyle and the country's tumultuous history. Many locals have embraced the hippos, seeing them as a quirky and enduring connection to their history. Tourists are drawn to this unique creature, contributing to the local economies and promoting ecotourism. The cultural significance and tourism potential of this hippo should be acknowledged and carefully considered. In conclusion, the presence of hippos in Colombia poses a complex challenge. We already know about that, requiring a thoughtful and comprehensive response. While the ecological impact cannot be ignored, the cultural significance of this creature and their potential for sustainable tourism should also be considered. By finding a delicate balance between environmental preservation and cultural legacy, Colombia can navigate the hippo dilemma in a way that protects its unique biodiversity while honoring its history. Through collaboration and innovation, it is possible to turn this challenge into an opportunity for long-term sustainability and conservation.
Okay, guys, in my opinion,
That is
maybe
my
one of you are are going to help me after my opinion, but I will say that we have to kill them, and because as you all know, Colombia is one of the most biodiversity and incredible countries in the world. And the reason why Colombian has this title is because and Colombia has a wide range of species through the country. And thinking that the introduction of invasive species such as hippos is affecting these ecosystems makes me consider that the eradication is the better option. I know that no one wants to take a gun and shoot down someone, but it's difficult. But I want to take care of my country and its biodiversity, and I will say that it's high time that Colombians opted and eradicate the problem at its root. That's all.
And from my point of view, the presence of hippos in habitable territory is a problem to be aware of for the Colombian government and the local people. First of all, the Colombian authorities are the main ones responsible for the problem because they haven't taken action about it since Pablo Escobar's death. Instead, they decided to leave the four specimens free at Hacienda Nápoles, and that's the reason why everything is going wrong these days for the local communities in Antioquia. And the local leaders weren't thinking of reasonable solutions due to the fact that they are tired of living day by day with fear. Even experts have proposed that killing hippos is the only way to solve it, and that's something worrying and scary. I totally agree with the point of um with this solution. In this case, but animals are unconscious of what is going around them, but you must do. Or also, hippos can make a decision related to where they should live or where they should go. So I am with the possibility of taking some young specimens and sending them by plane to other countries that would love to receive them.
Well, guys, do you have any other point of view? Any one of you? Maybe any one of you can share.
Thank you for paying attention, guys.
Thank you. It was a great, great, great presentation. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about these animals, or in general about
I
species
mean,
that have been declared as invasive in Colombia? Yes, Frey.
Is there something
You were
that
going to say
I
something.
forgot to say it?
Uh-huh.
That is that I will say that maybe the government should consider allow the hunting, hippo hunt, because that could be a good way to maintaining control this population, and maybe a lot of people can take advantage of the of their meat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know that's so
It
difficult,
sounds,
and for
it
that's the reason
sounds,
why I'm
yeah,
laughing, because it's difficult to say that I want to kill someone or
yeah,
a carnivore, but
yeah,
if you have to put in a balance, you have to preserve your nature. I will say that.
yeah.
I know that it's not enough it's not full of the hippos, but
Yeah, it's
sorry for
not a hippo's fault. Yeah, for sure.
What is the number right now? Hippopotamus?
sorry, can you repeat?
The number of hippopotamus that we have right now.
I can't remember, guys. Do you have
400, almost there.
400.
Yes.
Ah,
and it's
yes.
difficult because if you want to sterilize them,
Yeah, I mean, it's something
they
that average 3
hide
times.
their genitals, and that's the reason why that is so difficult to complete this
You
task.
have to move an animal of 3 times. One by one, you have 400. Let's say that the
Yes,
half is male and the other half is female. You have to move
but
200
but
to
maybe
assimilate them.
if you want to take them to another country, that could be difficult because first one is priceless, and
Second,
second one, they have specific issues here in Colombia, and if you take them to, for example, Africa, a country, they will I don't know how to say contaminar the
Dominate?
other
Yeah,
contaminate
I
the
agree with
other
Freddy.
ones.
We have to kill it. We have 2 options, maybe by their own or bring alligators from Africa. But the problem with the second one is if other species right here, it's easier for alligators to kill them than hippopotamus, they will start to kill those species instead of hippopotamus.
Yes, but in Colombia it's illegal this option that there is that's why the population of hippos is increasing rapidly or quickly, sorry, quickly.
Yeah,
There
rapidly.
are a lot of things that are illegal and we do.
Frey says, I agree with the
Yes.
biologist. The only effective way is to kill them.
Freddy is a biologist.
I mean,
I mean,
yes.
the only
I
way
mean,
if you want to consider to, I don't know, send it to another country, you have to kill at least the half.
Half of them. Yeah, imagine
yeah.
how you're going to move those animals from one country to the other. Like it's gonna
And yeah, even by
be,
ship you can buy 10 of them by
Mhm.
trip.
It's just a lot. It's just a
It's
lot.
dangerous
And what I
and
was saying before,
same
go
time.
ahead, John, don't worry.
No, no, no. I'm just saying that it is expensive and dangerous. So basically, it's impossible to move them to another country, take them to
Yeah,
another country.
400 of them.
May-
Yeah, it sounds like an
Right
impossible
now.
task.
Maybe by boat, maybe it could be an option, but by plane, is it for me? I think that it is important. So, but I don't want to kill them as well because they are so beautiful.
Yeah, it sounds cruel, right? It sounds cruel. It sounds cruel just to even think about it. I mean, it's not their fault. I think that, well, according to biologists and everything, the best way or the most effective way to end with that problem is to kill them. However, killing them should not be a traumatizing thing for them. It should not be a painful way to die. I mean, that's just my point of view. I don't know if it's possible or not, but I mean, to die in a way that is peaceful and not painful and not traumatizing for those poor animals, because
There are
I mean, they're
big.
just animals, right? What do you
I
say,
mean, I think the United States in Florida have a similar issue, but with alligators and python. Alligators are from naturally from that place, from Florida, but pythons not. Someone bring them to them. So the problem right now is every single year they're having more bigger alligators and bigger pythons, and in some point it's going to be a risk for the human population. So they're facing this: we can kill off the alligators or we can kill off the python, but we can bring the both in the same place because every single generation of them is being bigger and bigger and bigger, and in some point it's going to be our problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's the same. In some point they're going to grow too much,
Yeah.
and this will be a problem.
Yeah.
So if 400 is a problem right now, when being 1,000 or 2,000,
it's an even
it's unreliable in that point. Thinking out of like a pacifist field for them. Even right now, it's almost impossible because they are too big for that.
Yeah, for sure. They're big animals, massive. Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much. Harold, Jennifer, John, you guys did an amazing job. I'm very happy with the outcome of these projects. I'm very happy of by all of your hard work, all of the groups in general. All of you did an amazing job. Thank you guys very much for your hard work during these 5 cycles. Remember, people, that tomorrow we are meeting at 6, and during the first 45 minutes of class we are going to have encuesta satisfacción, maybe one short exercise, and then
Scary day.
yeah. And then the idea is that yes, Harold, give me 1 second. At 7 p.m. from 7 to 9, we're going to have the first part of the exam. Now, Harold, go ahead.
Sorry, teacher, can you give us a quick reminder about the Moodle deadline?
Yeah, well, the deadline for Moodle, well, we finish on Wednesday. The idea is that by Wednesday, you guys are done, because I need to upload the grades on the system. So I would say that the maximum or the due date for Moodle will be Thursday at noon, because I need to work on your, on your, I mean, I need to finish grading and everything. So I need to finish by that time. Okay. So Thursday at noon. It's a perfect day. Okay. Alrighty. Very good. So guys, thank you very much for your hard work. I will see you tomorrow. Good night, guys. Take care. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Thanks,
Thank
teacher.
you,
Bye.
teacher. Thank
Take
you for
care.
listening us.
Thank you. Bye.